So, Liverpool, how's he done it, Cass? Because you looked midway through this season and it just felt as though Liverpool were just scratching for anything. You yourself were saying you couldn't see Liverpool challenging for Europe. You were kind of very down about Liverpool. And yet, look where they are now. They are challenging for Europe. They've won 5 games in a row. There seems to be a real optimism, shall we say, about Liverpool. Now, I'm not saying they're necessarily going to get into the top 4, but they could. So how's he done it? What's changed in this short period of time?
Well, they haven't played... I'm going to sound terrible here.
Oh, no.
They haven't played that well in them period of them games. You think of West Ham away, Fulham at home, recent. The Spurs game, unbelievable. First half, Liverpool, unbelievable. Second half, exactly like the early parts of the season for me. Okay. The Tottenham game was hanging in the balance because... Tottenham have been in pretty poor form as well, yet Liverpool showed all their frailties in that game. And I think he's found a way. Look, Salah's got scoring again, and he's actually been scoring regularly in the last couple of months, doing really well. Jota getting back is a big plus. Núñez has been left out and Cappo's been playing down the middle, and they're still playing slightly different. Look, Liverpool, I don't believe it will make the top 4 anyway. I just don't think they've been good enough over the course of the season. I'm hoping that a good end to the season, and clearly additions need to be made at the club, will make a difference to go into next year. Look, there's so many things. Like all of this, it's very complex now because there's lots of issues to talk about with why a team's doing well and why they're doing really poorly. And Liverpool, you could dissect the defence, dissect the midfield, and forwards coming back has helped. But generally, Liverpool have had a really poor season.
Well, I'm sure they would say that too, because ultimately their aim will be, obviously, of late, to be challenging for the title and not just challenging for the top 4. But they have had this knack of being able to go through a bad spell and it look as though they can't make the top 4 and yet still make the top 4. We've heard young Klopp many a time say, we can't do it, we can't get to the Champions League places, and yet somehow they've done it. I understand what you're saying about perhaps this run of form has come a little too late and there's too many points to make up, as well as the fact that they've got to rely on other results going against them as well. But you're also saying they're not playing well. Okay, they're not playing well, but they're getting results.
Yeah,
so they're finding a way to win, which ultimately is all that matters.
I thought the West Ham game was very typical of fine lines in sport, because they could have easily, lost that game against West Ham, and they managed to get victory. I've had my concerns about the reconstruction of Liverpool for a while, because I do believe midfield and defence is the areas that need to be addressed, and I think he'll do that. They will always, I have said this all season, that they will always score goals. They have enough players of quality to win them games, but their goals against column 42 this year is well adrift. Really from years gone by. Liverpool been far more solid, far more harder to beat. They have to be, if they can get back to being a team that concedes a real low number of goals, much harder to beat. Liverpool will be back in the top 4 and then getting closer to Man City again. Until that happens, I still see the type of game of Liverpool 4, Tottenham 3.
Which is thrilling for a neutral.
Yeah, it was a great game. And Liverpool were sensational. Well, Liverpool were sensational against Manchester United. But if I want to bring in loads of other games, Brentford away, that you saw that day, there's always that is down the line with Liverpool. It feels like that's going to happen again to them. I think Liverpool will beat Brentford today. I think they'll get the result done. But I wouldn't be shocked and amazed if Brentford came away and I'd gone, lost 3-2, made 2 big major errors, 2 set pieces, and Brentford have profited from, like Jurgen Klopp said. Liverpool are vulnerable to that.
Well, they have only lost once at Anfield this season, Liverpool, in the league. Won 12 of their games as well. So they've still Anfield has still remained a fortress of some kind for Liverpool, which makes it very difficult for most opposition teams to go to, which is why I'm a little hesitant about Brentford as well.
Their away record has cost them a hell of a lot this year. Yeah. Liverpool's away record, it's cost them Champions League football for sure.
Well, looking at it now, they've lost the most of any of the sides in the top. I'll say top 9, because Fulham have lost more and they're in the 10th position. But yeah, they've lost more than any other side.
Away form has cost them enormously this year.